welcome to Therapy Thursday, where I give you some tips that I've learned along the way that has helped me get to where I am today. From a complete mental breakdown to making these videos for you. My name is Jennifer Rose. I'm a spirituality coach, and right now I am doing a 10-week Transform You program. We have started with our gratitude, then moved on to self-care last week. And this week we are working on grounding, getting in control of ourselves in our lives. And each day we've been working on a different technique that helps us ground. So today is not going to be any different. We are going to be working on another technique of grounding, of bringing a heightened state to a controlled state. And one that I'm going to share with you is a very personal story. When I went into, I had my spiritual experience in March of 2023. And from that experience, it was too much for my mind to take in. So I lost reality, which is called a psychosis, which is basically the worst mental breakdown. I was sent into a mental hospital for 2 weeks, and then I was forced on medication. From the medication, and they wanted to make sure that I took it, I went into a halfway house. And so when I went in, everything was gone and taken from me. And I do have my story throughout some of the videos you can find on YouTube, my YouTube channel. But everything was ripped away. So going from one state of not even just the reality, but support, love, a home, money, clothes, food. I mean, your basics was all gone. And so grounding to me was the most vital part of my recovery. I would say 100% I would not be here without grounding. I used grounding from the very beginning of when I went into the mental hospital. I would do tracks around because you couldn't go outside, just to make sure that I was staying within myself. Even though reality wasn't right there, it definitely took some time, but with grounding, even at the most vulnerable time in my life, is a skill that I had and that I used. And so when I went into the halfway house, the technique that I'm going to share with you today is you need to have fun. We go along life and this is how we feel. And sometimes we're presenting this to the world, but this is how we feel inside. And when we start to do this work, we can get so caught up in this. Well, this is what we're focusing on today. We need to find fun in our lives because that is vital to our healing and to our recovery. I was sitting in the halfway house, and it was a particularly bad day. Obviously the other people at the halfway house have their own issues going on as well. But it was this particular day, it was very, very overwhelming. And I just felt so alone and isolated, and that I was never getting out of there. It was such a deep, deep feeling of no hope, I guess is the word you could say. And one grounding technique that I used was my sister and I would go rocking, and we would be on the shores of Lake Michigan going through all these rocks. And because we'd spent so many hours doing this, when I was in the halfway house, I would close my eyes and I would visualize myself in Lake Michigan. I could almost hear the water going against the shore, the rocks underneath me, how even the air smelled, because I was spent so much time doing that enjoyable activity. So I took myself there during my time at the halfway house. And when I would come back into myself, there would be a little bit more hope. There would be a little bit more, okay, I can do this. So it was a time that, because I spent so much fun doing something, it was really there when I needed it. And that is what my therapy tip for you today is. If you have a hobby, to spend at least 20 minutes every day from now until the 10 weeks are up on yourself, doing something you love for 20 minutes every day. And I know people are going to say, well, I don't have time. Yes, you probably don't have time. And this is something you're going to have to make time for, is yourself. Because if we want to get control of our lives, then we have to start controlling our life. Us. The one person that we can control is us. And we have to control our time, which is now. And if that means 20 minutes that we tell everybody around us, hey, I'm going to devote this time to something that I love doing, then that's what we need to do. So at a time, maybe it isn't the optimal thing. You can go back and say, okay, I'm visualizing myself playing that piano. I'm visualizing myself crocheting, whatever it may be. Now, some of you out there might be like, well, I don't really have a hobby. Your goal every Saturday or whenever, one day out of the week, you have to go try a new activity. Every week, you have to go try a new activity until you find your hobby, whatever that is. But 20 minutes every day devoted to something that you love. And it can't be something where you're just getting on and dismissing your time, which we all do. This is something intentional that you're doing to spend time on yourself. So that is your chore for the weeks going forward. Find some fun. Find some fun. Because of that rocking, I think that saved my life to like literally think of Lake Michigan. I've been back there several times after I've gotten out, and it still is one of the most beautiful memories that I have. Even going there with my children and spending time with them and having more and more memories for me. We are meant to live life, and we are meant to have fun and joy. And we need to make it intentional to go do that, to have some fun and have some joy. It can't be all work, because then this is what we get. If it's all work, then we're like, why are we doing it? You got to put in some fun. All right. I hope this was helpful to you. Let's finish out with our gratitude cards. Maybe this message is for you. I always like to show the box. All right. For me, every hour is grace, and I feel gratitude in my heart each time I can meet someone and look at his or her smile. L. Weasel. One more time. For me, every hour is grace, and I feel gratitude in my heart for each time I can meet someone and look at his or her smile. And that is true. This is all about fun, people. And wouldn't it be great to see your own smile? I know I would love to see it too. Take care. Bye. Blessings to all who see this.